Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I want to explain about I want to a presentation about language production. Speech is used in different ways among different groups of people. As we will see, each group has its own norms of linguistic behavior. A particular group may not encourage talking for the sake of talking, and members of such a group may appear to be quiet, taciturn to outsiders who release talk, or they may feel overwhelmed by the demands met on them if these others insist of talking. In contrast, another group, talk may be encouraged to the extent that it may even appear to be quiet, disorderly to an observer who has internalized a different set of rules for the conduct of talk. We must try to understand how different groups of people use their language or languages if we are to achieve a comprehensive understanding of how that language or this language is related to the society that uses it. Children returning from a government boarding school are greeted with silence, and the children themselves are expected to be silenced. Silence is maintained until each person once again becomes accustomed to the presence of the others. When one is cues out discipline verbally, silence is again the appropriate response, even though the cussing out may be undeserved. The Western Apache believe that responding will make matters worse. The initial stage of courting behavior also requires silence. In this case, silence is taken to be a proper indication of the shyness that is expected between two people attempting to enter into a close relationship. They regard talkativeness is such a situation, especially especially in the family of the pair. As in modest, silence is also used as a kind of sympathizing device. After someone dies, you are silent in the presence of people who are sad, and you should not further disturb those who are already disturbed by grief. An ethnography of speaking hymns has proposed an ethnographic framework which takes into account the various factors that are involved in speaking. And ethnography of a communicative event is a description of all. I'm sorry, I presentation about ethnography and ethnomethodology, so it's false. An ethnography of a communicative event is a description of all the factors that relevant in understanding how that particular communicative event achieve its objectives. Ethnomethodology, as indicated at the beginning of the chapter, talk itself is also used to sustain reality and itself part of the reality. We can therefore look at talk as a phenomenon in its own right. Ethnomethodology is that branch of sociology which is concerned, among other things, with talk view in this way. Ethnomethodologists are interested in the process and technique that people use to interpret the world around them and interact with that world. Instead, the focus on the phenomena of everyday existence, actually on various bits and pieces of it in an attempt to show how who's must deal with such bits and pieces go about doing so. So that's it about ethnography and ethnomethodology. I'm so sorry if there are many mistakes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.